Hi everyone, just a quick update here. I'm sure most of you have seen it. There have been the final patch notes yesterday. I made a video about them and talked about what the changes are. And oh boy, there was a lot of very vocal feedback about especially the Firebird's nerfs. Everyone was really hyped to play Wizard next season and maybe also the Rathma, which is not really looking very good. And we got all this new stuff and it already seemed very bleak in comparison to what we actually got in the end, because it was just not good enough anymore. And it killed the hype for a lot of people. So Blizzard has actually responded, and there is a blue post here from Filthy Rich, and they say that they are actually listening to the feedback regarding Firebird's finery, investigating opportunities to update some of the changes, nerfs, and they will have more to share very soon. And this is actually great news, I believe. So they nerfed Firebirds from PDR to the final patch by 14-15 tiers, which is very heavy nerf. It is not completely destroyed, it's not a terrible build, but the thing is that people want to play something new and shiny, especially on a class that has been out for a while, and especially on a build and on a set that has, I don't know when was the last time it was actually used, many years ago. So I'm really glad that they are listening, so they are aware and they have something to share soon. So I think we can be excited here, and they will most likely simply unnerf at least one or two of the nerfs. If you take a look at this here, they essentially nerf the damage 3 times by roughly half by nerfing the 2, the 4 and the 6-piece bonus individually. I would imagine they would just undo one of them, and then it's actually looking pretty solid. So the most likely scenario here is probably a revert on the 4-piece bonus, because this one is the only one that actually has a gameplay impact, and having the 100 combustion stacks and a 50 would make it a bit more smooth, a bit faster, a bit more reliable, I guess. And all the others are just numbers changes, so they don't really matter in terms of gameplay. And essentially each of those nerfs is a nerf of 5 tiers each. This one is actually slightly more, this is 6 tiers. So without giving my own suggestion of what to do, this is most likely what I think will happen, and it also seems extremely reasonable to do so. So this is also what I would suggest actually, that I would target the 4-piece bonus. Again, I also talked about maybe changing stuff like the mirror images, changing stuff like depth rush, but we can just see, okay, the builds are fine. Firebird has a lot of variety, which is actually a very strong point of it. So you can play a lot of builds of it. Not everything is exactly the same in power level, obviously, but all of them are going to be quite good. So in terms of the balance of the Firebirds, if they buff it by 5 tiers, it would actually look pretty solid. So I have this list here for Paragon, 2.5k, 500 keys fishing, kind of like an GR estimate. And this is with the current patch notes. Yeah, Firebirds is kind of like middle of the pack on Wizard, nothing really crazy. 5 tier buff would put it to like close to Twister level. It would definitely be an S tier build, and it would be, close to something like Bone Spear, it would be close to Valor. So something like that would put it at least somewhere in the top 5, behind or maybe above Twister. And in terms of an XP format meta with the Firebird runs that we have shown, there's actually a good chance that this is going to end up on top or around equal as Rats or Bat runs. So I know Rob has been preparing this post already. That's going to go up on Maxwell very soon, along with all the Season 23 guides. This is still the Season 22 here, but we were discussing this already, and something like a 5 tier buff would put the Bird runs pretty much similar to Rat runs or Bat runs. So if you look at those estimates here, Firebirds can do roughly the same tiers as Rat runs, but they're simply much slower. So Rat runs do like their consistent 1.5 to 2 minute clears, and Bird runs are gonna be like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes or so, but they might be several tiers higher then, and that will around even out, plus minus the same. So there's definitely a good reason to be excited. Blizzard is definitely aware of what's happening here and that a lot of people are upset. And I also spent like an hour writing them some special feedback, and it seems like they really took that to heart and are reconsidering. So it was not just me, there were also a lot of other people like telling them directly that this was a bit over the top, that people are unhappy. And it's great to see that they actually care and they actually do something. A bit sad for especially the Rathma, because we're probably not going to see anything, but perhaps there might be a surprise, who knows, they might be doing something else. And otherwise, if they don't do anything for Rathma, I would actually expect them to give them kind of like a bone spear treatment, where after a season, seeing that it doesn't perform so well, they might just add some other crazy new stuff, like they did with the Gelmindos Marrow Guards. So for season 23, it's looking like the bird season. So let's see what it actually ends up being, what the patch will do, what the buff will do. But we can definitely have a reason to be excited here. I'm very glad, because I was so looking forward to those Firebird runs, and I really don't want to do some other XP meta that is some old stuff that everyone has already seen. So yeah, there we go. I'll have my own Firebird guide coming up very soon, so I'm trying to do that probably by the end of the week. And we're also going to have all the new stuff on Maxroll, so be sure to check that out. We are in the process of updating everything. It's a very hectic time right now here, and hope that we can all enjoy the season as we thought we would. This is all I have to share here for now. Hope you're also excited for it as I am, and see you guys next time.